All right. Um, I guess by the title of the video, not the title, the description, this is the part two. And today, what I'm going to be doing is probably just continuing the foliage creation, as well as maybe working on creating some rubble for the scene, as it's sort of just lacking in its like overgrown feel. Um, just trying to see if the volume level's good. Maybe working on all right, let's try and see what I can be doing. So right now, I think the engine is doing pretty well. The insides is looking oh, very, very beautiful, I think. Maybe at some point, what I'll do is maybe work on the vines a little more, like these, and adding actual like moss falling off the vines. Um, and that's something that I can do at a later point. Right now, it's not really, it's not really needed, but who knows? I did get uh, a speed tree here to make my life 1,000 times simpler. So this is all of the Capic trees and things like that. So I can look at that later and then create something better here where it's showing the where the tree I'm wanting to actually be, but like the roots are not so great. Hello, Too Scuffed. How's it going? I'm very sorry about your video. That's usually why I just deal with video game music because they're never really copyrighted unless they say that it is. All right. So I think what we're gonna get into doing is just working on speed tree at the moment. I'm gonna continue the wall lineup, and we're gonna remove the original, um, the original shit show of the vines up here when we exported it, and it's still stayed. There we go. That's better. Okay, so what we need to work on is the actual formation of all of the roots here. We might need to make it so there's more to have more leaves because the leaves don't seem too chaotic right now and they need to be. So we have a high quality collision, which helps because if we remove the collision, we'll have this much, and that's not how they're supposed to look. So we're going to keep it to high quality. So anything that's hitting each other basically will disappear in the scene. However, it's not going to render. Just if I do micro adjustments, they'll appear shortly. Um, from Mordhau to Unreal Engine tutorials. Who's this? What do you mean Mordhau? Like as in moderator for Mordhau? I'm a little confused. Boom, boom. It's all thanks to Geesh for helping me. Oh, you're Kron. Oh, hey. Oh, man, it's been a while. But yeah, no, this is pretty much what I do now instead of Mordhau, which I was slightly addicted to. Yeah, 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 I remember. Yeah. Good times, good times. Oh man, it's been a while. Have you seen any of the new updates for Mordhau though? Um, there is some stuff that I'm actually excited about because they're updating something that hasn't been updated in a couple of years. So like it's really exciting. Their next update, they're making some really cool things that I wish I could share. You mostly make audio and programming mods for Unreal Engine? Oh, that's pretty cool. So you know fairly well how to do some coding. Maybe if I need some help with some coding sometime, I can ask you. Because I normally do the art side. I'm not very good at coding. I'll give you that. Okay, so we're gonna try and create some more generations of these and see if it actually increases the volume. Yeah, no, Shiv 2 is a blast. I love it. It's okay, that might be a little too jumbled, and I might need to make it smaller. But yeah, sorry. So Shiv 2 is I think honestly is really good for go away. Really good for an arcade game. Um, so you just mindlessly go in and hack slash, whereas Mordhau is a little more intensive in that regard, unfortunately, where you actually have to think ahead and predict people's movements, and there's just a whole ordeal of it. Okay, so I want to change. Oh, no, no, no. All good, all good. I'm easily distracted, though, with comments. But that's fine. Please talk to me. I'll be bored otherwise. It's the point of streaming. So I can show off my work. So I do want to make it so that the actual... I believe it's the spine, so that... No, that's the length. Okay, so this just changes the shape, which is what we were fooling around with the other day. There's a lot of wet noodles here. They're all over the place. It's great. I love it. Although I'm questioning why that's not properly updating as quick as it used to. But whatever. Okay, so I actually have not played Pal World. No. I heard it's good though. And there's it seems very intuitive. It's just a bunch of like crafting and farming of goods. I saw people early on just mining shit like rocks and wood constantly just to make certain things for the PAL, and then force labor for the PAL, you know, just forcing them. It's kind of it's very sad. Those poor sorry, PAL. What do they call them? PALs? Yeah, sure, not Pokemon, but pals. Oh, it's so stupid. Okay, so I seem to be running into some form of difficulty here because I apparently don't know how I can change the size of the shape here for a second. This is going to take me a little bit. Do. Forced labor is sick. Oh yeah, you can never go wrong with forced labor. Does this actually change the size, is what I'm wondering? Or does it just change the size of the other thing and not the actual mesh? We'll go with the mesh and we'll try and see if we can change the size of the actual mesh here, because it's looking like it's not changing. Size scaler. We'll put it to a 0.7 and see if that actually changes, which it does not, so I'll just keep it to I'll keep it like that. This is really dumb. The good thing about this is no matter what I do, I can, if I really want to, easily just right click and randomize, which is good. You can even freehand, you can even adjust the nodes. It's pretty cool because I can go in and move and do whatever I want with that. But I do want to change the size of this mesh, as this mesh is too large and it is not looking correct. So if we zoom out, the leaves are tiny and the mesh is huge, and we don't want that. It's going to take like 6 years just looking at this thing. And we'll change the lower scale and upper scale. See if that changes something. Okay, maybe that slightly changed it. Let's see. So stupid. Okay, so it really likes to not properly go through as well, and it just stays as 300,000 polygons, and then it switches back to the other mode where it just disappears. Got the length, we got the orientation, we got the shape, which is fine. Prune, path, noise, early, late, that's fine, that's fine. That gives it the shape of the spine. Now it's probably the skin that we want. However, it's just, I'm questioning why it's not letting me change squash. Smooth skin radius. Oh. What did I do? Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna remove those so it's just easier to look and see what my micro adjustments will be and see if this actually does work. So I'm just gonna go through all of these and make sure that anything is actually changing something with the value. And if it's not, let's see here. So this is just changing the jumble. This is the sweep, which is nice. So we can easily go through and change this up to whatever we want. And now I think that's looking pretty good, but I'm trying to get the size. This is where you can have it, so it could be like this if you want. So what I do want to do is just push this up a little bit from the ground. Probably, let's say, like here, and then the last can be unless we keep it at 0 to 1 like we had it. Does that look better? No, we'll keep it at 0.9, which is nice. But I do still need that shape. Oh. So this is the length. That's perfectly fine. We'll have the length. We got this going. Now the question is, oh, this is the thing that I want. So we'll keep the variant. Woo! So I'll keep that as a low value and see how that actually works. So it is still creating these huge things that I don't want. So this becomes a little too small. And it just looks very ugly. They both in the sense I think looks very, very, very ugly. This will change the size, the radius. So maybe if we lower this to like 0.1 and increase the radius here. Yeah, okay. So we need to increase the radius of it, and we can even adjust this to be like 0.5. Maybe lower this radius. Still getting the same effect here, which I don't want. Just hoping there's an actual... So this, like, this jumble and everything is perfectly fine. Whoa, what did I do? but I just want to get it squishing, like just have it thinner. In which case, maybe what I can do is change the actual plane that I'm using as the mesh here. So if you go into meshes, this is the plane that I'm basing it off of. It could be too large. So what I could do is lower the value of it and then put it onto it. Oh. Okay, well, here, we'll go to the mesh then. My bad. Fight me. Okay, so that doesn't do anything. Oh, maybe. No, even if you compute it, it still doesn't like you. Does not like 0.5? Yeah, no, it doesn't want you to scale it like that. Okay, so that is a miss. So what I could do is I could lower it. So we'll just try and find this bark plane, which should be, if we use the native, it should be in this file. We'll just go into Blender. And then I'll just manually shrink it. Woo! I hit my mic. So we'll just import the FPX. Grab the bark plane. And we're going to zoom in on that bark plane. So this is our plane. And what I do want to do, so it has all of those, that's good. We can shrink based on the x-axis and make it like a lot thinner. But also what I want to do is make it thinner here, just by a little bit, just to show certain depth there. So it's not the same. Now it looks like a stick. So we'll be able to export that as FBX. And then we're going to just overwrite it. Oh, I didn't export it right. There we go. Wall force. Nope, bark plane. And I will just re-import it. There we go. Much thinner. Much thinner. I think that's a little bit better. And we can do the same with these big vines here. These don't need to be this large. So hopefully what I can do is find the actual, so that's the length. We don't need to mess with that. So that'll change the height and then just the radius of it. So that doesn't actually change our proper radius / shape. So then this will adjust the radius and make it thinner. And overall, this looks 1,000 times better than what it was. And I can unhide this. Hopefully this will compute it. And this is looking, oh, so much better now. Okay, so now what I need to do is just play around with the actual size of the skin here. So we'll just enlarge this, let's say about 18 for now. We don't want too large of a number. And then we'll just see how it looks if it computes, because there's like 300,000 leaves. Maybe I should generate less, like, whew, that's a lot. Come on. Hello. Hello? Do your thing, man. Oh, I can increase this size. Oh, that's rotating. Nope. I want this. There. Oh, whoa. What did I do? Okay, don't edit that. Okay, there we go. That is looking a little bit better, but it's too large in some areas. So the leaves are huge and some are small. So I do want to keep it lowered in the actual skin part and just keep it what I had. So maybe just stay at 15 and then changing the absolute rate here to 0.1. 5, maybe. We'll just see the difference here. Okay, any huge leaves we got? Yeah, we got some. We don't want anything amazingly massive. Whoa, no. Okay. Let's see how big this gets. So we do want a decent size. But yeah, no, this is very awkward looking. Like you got some really tiny leaves and then a really massive one. And I'm thinking the orientation on those leaves are kind of incorrect here. I'm going to have to go into them and I'm going to have to see how these look. And the orientation is very off here. So unfortunately what I'll have to do is keep the stem and rotate the angle here. Get it to the correct-ish angle. And set these to all value. And the actual tessellation amount is fine. I could lower it if I really need to. It doesn't need to be that huge. But it's nice because I can actually fold things better in the leaf and it will look 1,000 times nicer. So I'll do this for all of them to make sure they're all in the correct orientation. So the leaf can start here and set that value. Maybe one of these days I will go over actually properly doing it. But yeah, this is just setting the actual pivot and the application of where it's going to apply to the actual branches. So now it's not looking as much as it was floating like earlier. Some of it is still curling a little bit weird. Some of it's still kind of floating. And that could just be because my fourth one isn't super correct at the moment. So we'll just set it to that and change the actual angle a little bit of the stem. And hopefully that'll help a little bit with some of the position of those leaves. Now it's looking a little bit better for some of them. Not all of them. Like some of them just sort of just floating there, which looks like shit. So hopefully I can find something here and make a good adjustment and fix that issue. Maybe we'll keep this actually on a different angle like so. And I'll set these like that. I mean, it's not looking terrible, but they are curled a bit too much at the moment, in which I will need to change the actual shape of the skin. So it's going through ivy cutout material. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's randomizing. It has huge curl and folding. So I'm not, ooh, that looks too oriented. I can randomize the seed here, make it look different. Doesn't look too bad. They're pretty decently close, and that's looking pretty good. However, there's some leaves that are currently very close to each other, which I also don't want. Let's see here. We can go maybe less, and maybe that will do a little bit better with its position. What happens if I do more? How bad would that look? Because it gets to a certain point, I think, where it just stops generating leaves properly. That actually looks pretty good. I do want some consistency here. So I do want the actual leaves to be around around the same sort of like thickness or same sort of, what you call it, size. So I do want to see if this is a good size or not, but I'm not sure if it is. So let's just play around with the actual size a bit more if we can find. And we can try and increase, lower it, and see what works and what doesn't. Something is changing this and making it a bit off. We'll keep that at 0 just to see, because this creates different variants, so variation, and it's a uniform variation. But I think as soon as we disable that, it stops with what we need. So we can set this as like a low value of 0.9 or 0.09, sorry. See if it changes anything or if it's busted again, probably. We'll point that at 0.1. See how different this goes, because there's just these leaves that are just massive over the other ones. There's a lot of leaves now. I wish it can process this faster. It's so slow. Come on. One thing I did get done while this is loading, what I did do for the grass is I added variation on instances. So what it'll do is, this is just the basic shader for my other one, the clump. And then this is the one that I just created. So what it does is it creates per instance it acts between, so it'll pick between this material, so this color, and then this color that I can change to whatever I want. So I can make it blue if I want. So I added light value if I want to make it brighter, because this could be too dark. So I can set that to 15 and that will look much brighter. Or I can keep it at the dark value of 10 or a little bit lower if I really want to. And then what it does is every time it places an instance, let's say if I go to foliage painting, it will create different color variants of the grass. So either the brown or the normal green I have. And so I guess what I can do, since I have that, is go through and remove the foliage here while this is doing its... Okay, so I'm going to have to undo these. Usually when I'm working, I'm like all over the fucking place. Okay, so I don't want that. Ooh. Or do I? Yeah, okay. Ooh. No, that works. Do you want to save this in a second once this is actually processing itself? Okay, so I'll save this real quick and I'll head back into Unreal just to show you what I need to do. Sorry, I know I'm all over the place, so it's not really helping with you guys visualizing certain things or following along with some stuff. Okay, where is my foliage I want to get rid of here? Is it this? Nope. It's all of the light ones that I'm trying to get rid of because it's looking sort of ugly at the moment. I can't tell which it is. Okay, so it's not that. I know that, which is good. Is it this? Nope. It could be the 166 here. Yeah, it's the 166. So we're going to lower this and we're going to get rid of most of its actors here because we don't want that anymore. We want the good new stuff. So I'm going to increase that with just control scroll wheel and we're going to just remove it. I think it also is not really good optimized wise because it is a Quixel asset. So that's generally where I'm going with a lot of these. Not a lot of these, but some of these are Quixel bridge assets. So if you see anything like this fern here, I'm going to be making my own, but these are just placeholder. The grass, the actual vines, and these rope vines all were created by me, and these leaves here was custom made in Designer. So these are looking good. These should be quite optimized. Like this one over here should be very low in poly count, and I will need to go through all of the foliage that I have created earlier and optimize it as well. And then that'll just help the scene out, because right now it's sort of, you can feel it chugging. Like if I go into show, I believe, or yeah, right here, show FPS. If I look down, it's like 20 FPS. This is not optimized at all. If I look up, I get a lot more frames, and this still needs to be semi-optimized. And if I look away from everything, I get 60. So everything's needing to be lower poly count because it's becoming way too much, and it's only going to keep getting worse as I progress. I'm not sure if things were set as nanite. If they were, some of the actual materials would be broken. So I would need to go through and fix that. But maybe later on I can always process that. For now, what I do want to do is I want to export this, and we'll just see how well it actually works. And then we can check the poly count. So it should be only 72,000. That's a lot. So we need to optimize it, unfortunately, which means I have to go through and optimize the lengths, lower the poly count in certain things. We'll do like 0.2 or something for now. We will also try and optimize, let's see here. What do we want to optimize? Okay. So this doesn't like certain things being done, and then it just messes up the amount it's being thrown at here. I don't know why it does that every time I like adjust anything. It just like kills itself. Okay, man. We'll see. We'll go through the LED. That's fine. Collision, don't need to worry about that. The actual skin. Whoa, what happened? Do you want to change the actual size of it a little bit more? Use actual size. Okay, so that's the actual size. We're going to increase that. Holy shit. We'll go to 50 and see if that changes. Okay, so that is a good point of no return there. So this is too tiny. This is way too tiny, and I don't want that. 50 is probably going to be way too big. Yeah, because, okay, so I don't like the fact that the use actual size is there. That's shit. What I can do, however, is change the size to be bigger down below. Okay, and we're going to set this around the 1 factor here. And then it will be, so it should be smaller up top and bigger down below. So we'll see if that actually works. Let's see here. Because you know how vines work. They're grown, they're more matured at the bottom, and they keep growing, and the new ones are at the top, just growing now. So that's what I want to set, and I want that so it's actually looking like an actual vine, and it's starting to look a little better. However, if maybe there's an issue with one of the vines, I believe you can go in and you can edit the size manually. If you do not like the actual size it's set to, I don't know how good it will work, and it's a little difficult as each time I do a little bit of changing, it will kill itself and get angry at me. There's the size. Okay, see if that actually adjusts the size or if it's just breaking. I don't know why every time I do that it dies, but whatever. We'll just slowly lower the size of it. Okay. So let's see, how much does that change that value? Would that look better with 0.01? Looked better as 0, I believe. Yeah, this is a great program, except for all of the fucking nodes and things that you have to go through and boxes you have to change constantly. So it just doesn't feel like you're being the artist for some slow parts. But other than that, it's pretty intuitive and pretty fun to use and make some really really weird shit. So for now, I think this is okay-ish. I definitely need to figure out why these things, some of these are massive, whereas the other ones are just super tiny. And I'll do that after. I just want to export this, so I'll save it and then export. And we'll see how it looks in Engine. But when I do the scaling, I will set this to 0.05 just to see if we can get the correct scale. And we'll call this wall ivy, and we'll overwrite it. And I think we could either re-import it and it won't explode. So if we go to organic, we go to vine, nope, ivy. Definitely not that. And we try to look for that actual model that we created. We can also remove any of the test ivy, because this is my original ivy. I mean, that doesn't look bad to overlap with it. I don't think different size ivy would be a bad thing. Might actually look kind of nice. That does look weird though. It's not bad. Some of it does look nice, and a little bit of it is a little too chaotic. But this was all generated with the Blender add-on, and I think if I were to do it again, I would need the ivy to look a little bit bigger. For now, it's okay for some of the wall pieces. Let's find our wall ivy that we just exported. You can find that place. Where is the wall ivy? This is what happens when you have like 50 billion different things in here. So this is the old jungle leaf wall. Okay, so this is that other one. Oh yeah, and this is my original jungle leaf clump. Let's see here. We even have old leaf piles. Nice. Let's see. Oh, I think I found it. There it is. So this is the old one, and we don't want that anymore. So we want to re-import this and see if this is a much more correct size and looks nicer. So this looks like it's the actual correct size. And that actually looks very good. The actual stems are a lot less thick, and they're looking a lot better. And then I have just the main root with it. Yeah, that looks good. I like that. I like that a lot. I do want to add variation to the actual leaves again. I want to do it individually, so you might have to do mask-based. Or it's just procedural. For now, this isn't so bad. This looks good. And what I do need to do is go inside here. And we will need to find the leaf materials here. So we will need to go into the ivy folder. And where is, oh, it's right here. So these are our master materials for each. So we can set this to that one. So every time I load an instance, it will use that. And I believe I can go about either putting this one on it or maybe this one for now. We'll just keep it as a little bit nicer. There we go. That looks 1,000 times better with that material, and this looks really good. The sizing is about the same, and I think the leaves actually look good with this one and a little more chaotic, which is what we want. I don't want that though. We can remove this or move this over. Yeah, I like that. I don't want that there. A lot of moving things around and trying to see what works, what doesn't, so on and so forth. That actually looks good like that. This does look like shit right now, though, this piece. However, it does add to the room a little bit for now, but we will change that eventually, so which will help improve a lot of things. Let's see here. What do we want to do? No, yeah, that looks so good. We can even move it to here if we wanted. One of the positions here. We can rotate this 90 degrees. Definitely need to optimize these. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, so what I do want to do is actually add it so it can crawl up this, which that would look really good too, where it will crawl up and crawl onto the actual what's it called, the floor here. So right now it's sort of it's towering, it's fucking huge. You can even make it young and smaller. For now, we'll just set it as this for now, so I know exactly where I want to put that to have it tower. So in the meantime, what I do want to do is I want to go to, let's see here. We'll go to our ivy, and I do want to optimize any of these that I have created. So let's see here. So we got 20,000, 59, holy shit, 460,000 vertices, 13,000, 13,000. Okay, so these are better optimization, number 4, 5, and 6. And number 7 is at 12,000. So these are really good. And then as soon as, if we were to open this one is like crazy unoptimized and something that we need to address and fix. So for now, that guy can be naked, and this guy can be a little bit naked-er, and that should help with some performance, just by a little bit. Let's see here. Oh, I do like the grass with the different colors there like that. Oh, that looks so good. Sooner or later, I will be adding a better path. This is just a very placeholder path. It looks like shit, not gonna lie. If you guys have any recommendations for like shapes or what kind of a rock path, what I was thinking of doing was just sort of like a Let's see here if I can find it. So just sort of like, kind of like this, maybe, or just some sort of unique shapes. Just, oh, that looks like shit. This is kind of generally what I was going for and hoping that it would look good, but it's not. So the cobblestone isn't what I really want. I think going for the more bigger pieces, so let's say like the Cambodian temple, we'll just type that in, and usually they have some pretty good reference images. Yeah, so like this sort of ground is what I was generally wanting to go for, and that's exactly why I have these sort of bricks created, because you can easily make something like this. However, they are way too straight, and all of this will change, and I'll be baking it into an actual texture instead of it being all these. And this just less optimization in that regard. Now, what I can do, I guess, for getting rid of optimizing certain things, I can totally get rid of these, but these are just something that I grouped and was able to copy over to make this outside area that I'm still working on. So this will also be like a courtyard. Or I was thinking even on the other side, I was going to put an entrance, and it's going to go downwards, and it's going to have like a big staircase going down, and it's going to have big rocks all around and more vegetation and things like that. But this inside is looking 1,000 times better than what it used to be. Oh, that's looking good too. Right. What I can also do for optimization wise is set this as foliage if I really want to. Let's see here. So we'll go to here and we will find where it is, because I have so many friggin' things. And we can delete that for now, and we can go into foliage and we can move this into it if we want it as foliage type. And then we can paint, we'll lower the actual paint size here. Where is the, oh, paint. And we'll lower this. It's a little too large at the moment. I don't know why it's not letting me change the size here. Okay, so by default, it sets it to this. That looks kind of cool, not gonna lie. But I do want to lower the size of it and change the density to 0. We'll change it to 1, sorry. Because I just want to place one at a time. As you can see, if I paint, it will put one of those at a time. And I do need to get rid of the grass as a selection, so I don't paint more grass where I don't want it. And I can even change here the actual size of it and put these both on 0.01 and see how big that will get. Will it pop up, or is it too tiny? Oh, that's way too tiny. Okay, so we won't do that. We'll 0.1 and 0.1 and see if that fixes the size. Okay, so that's still too small. So it's all about messing around with the values. So I think that could be perfect, but this just helps with some optimization. It just means that I also will need to, okay, that's too fucking large. Why is it so tiny over here? Okay, so I need to lower this to 0.25, maybe 0.25, and see. Okay, that's a much better height. And then I can paint this here. Whoop. There. I do want to select this and move this to a better position. So now it's a foliage actor. And it should be a little bit better for some things as a foliage actor. There we go. And I even like that. It's even in a corner too. And it's not as big as before, which is a huge improvement. This is just awkward by itself. I don't know why it's just there like that. Oh no, don't get rid of the pillar. Come back. There we go. I'm going to save that. I'm going to go back into the speed tree here. And what I want to do is I want to go and so actually from where we exported this, I'm just going to go in and create a place for the speed tree assets. This is all the speed tree things I made, and then I'm going to just create Capic tree here. And I'm just going to import everything that I actually brought over. Let's see if this actually works. Let's see. Will this work, or is this going to explode? I don't know where I copied it. Uh-oh. I don't know where I migrated it to. There we go. There's a lot of items in this. Just going good still. Okay. So these are the vines, the blossom, those are the vines. So I think what I can do is just go about opening just this one up here and see if this will actually open. We'll see what it creates. Okay, so this is our beautiful Capic tree. This overall has really good optimization, 17,000 polygons for a tree. I need to see how exactly this guy does optimize his things. So each trunk layer is about 1,000. His leaves are really short amount, and his spacing is very good. Yeah, and these are just twigs. That looks really good. I fucking love this. This is awesome. I'm going to export and import it into that, and I can also even, if I wanted to, I can add wind, enable that. Oh, that's fucking beautiful. I can change it so it will just be a, I'm going to change the wind type here. Set condition. We're going to have calm with occasional gusts. So it's going to be nice and calm, and then it's going to get a little bit chaotic. Yeah, right there, like normal wind does. And then it's just going to calm down. So we'll have a healthy tree, which is a pretty good size. And later on, what I do want to do is I want to generally create a much more chaotic look here. So we can mess this up if we want to. And we can try and base it off of that wall piece and fix it and just make it look overall good. These UVs are stretched. Why are these so stretched? That looks nasty. Ooh. What happened to the poor trunk? What the fuck? It could have been based on my changing of the. See if I can fix this. Mm. Hmm. Does that fix it? That just looks horrible. So I don't know why these are stretching. Is it because of the offset? So whoever did this just sort of left it. So it's just sort of... Good God. It's pretty darn done. Done diddly dude. It's fucked. Oh well. These are just the normals. Oh well. From one spot, if you look at it, it looks perfectly fine. From there, it's stretched. But I won't worry too much. You can even, I think, adjust the actual shape of it. If it will let me. I would have to manually select the shape here. I think it could be just because it's too... I can make it even taller if I wanted to. Or just keep it the way it is. And for now, what we'll do is actually, we will export this mesh the usual way that we do all the time. We'll keep it as it is. We'll export it. And we'll export as this capic underscore tree underscore 01. Save that. And I can import it very easily. So if I go to this, go to the tree, from speed tree, where's the capic? Ugh. Where'd I save it? Oh, god damn it. Put it in that weird folder. God knows what reason. Okay, so we got that. We'll import this into this scene so it's much easier to know where everything is. And then once this is imported, we will just throw the tiniest tree. There we go, all done. Tiny tree. That's all we need to do. Jokes, of course. So we'll go back in here, we'll export mesh, and we'll keep it as a 1. See how different that is. Once that's done rendering packing texture, we will re-import this asset. See if that fixes the size. And whoa, that thing is fucking perfectly massive. And this will just add a lot more to the scene with lighting, so on and so forth. So this is what I've been wanting to do for a very long time. And I can always create my own if I like it. Oh, the top is chopped off. Nice. The top doesn't exist. Is it like that on here? Oh, it is. So apparently when you import that, it just disappears in game, but that's fine. You won't see it from above. And if we look down from here, oh yes. That's so nice. So we can add a couple more to the scene. And we can change it up, and I will look at the other types in a bit as well. So for now, this is just fucking perfect. Might be a little huge, which I don't think a tree generally would be this massive in scale, but I think the capic trees are fairly large. So now, as I'm looking over here, yes, that is perfect. Exactly what I want. You can even have one there. As you go out, This is like the main tree. And I will hide that terrible seam. I can always adjust this myself in another program, but there is something wrong with the UV on this thing here. It's being stretched, but that's perfectly okay. So now the lighting will be a lot different, which I think actually looks kind of nice. We can even add more light shafts around here later on as well. But I think adding the trees definitely adds to the scene a lot more. So if I ever look upwards, I can see that there's trees peering over me. And the Capic trees are fucking... Oh yeah, no, they're ginormous. These things are huge. Their roots are even scarier than the actual branches. As you can see, the Capic trees, they like to grow on everything. So that's what I was wanting to do with here. And that's a perfect texture that I need to migrate over. What I will be doing is creating my own material, as this material is not a good shade. And then I do want to add a tree growing from here and the roots coming down and crumbling over everything and like breaking into certain stone pieces. And I'm going to add some rubble around here, maybe some rubble near the staircase, some rock pieces that I want to sculpt, certain things like that. Now the issue is also optimizing this again. So what I can do is set this as foliage and we will swap the different types. For now, this is looking pretty good. All right, how long have I been streaming for? Where does it say that? I don't know how long I've been streaming for. Let's see if I can figure that out, shall we? I don't think it saves the fact of it, that how long I've been streaming for, but that's fine. Probably an hour or so by now. So what I do want to see, no, we're going to export that. So we're going to import some other versions. Speed tree assets, Capic tree. So I do want the one with the vine here. We're going to go for hero. We're going to change the view here. Okay. Capic desktop. Awesome vines. So here, I'll try the vine version and see what it comes up. I think it's just vines with it, which is fine. Which is kind of nice, which I like a lot. So these are just planes that are see-through, which is really cool. So these are mossy vines, but I also want to go about adding other things too. So there's desktop 2 vines. We got the hero asset. So maybe the hero will add everything. We'll see. So the hero does not add everything. And that's still broken. Okay. So the hero doesn't add anything. Pear blossom. See if the blossom looks nice here. So okay, so that's just a different time of year. That's nice. That'd be cool to add multiple variations of that. Okay, so this is mobile, so it'll be more optimized with that. Leaf map. All right. So I might stream a little bit later, or I might stream tomorrow. For now, I think this is pretty much where I'm ending. I do want to work on some rubble the next time I stream. I think that's my main focus, and or just continue working on this foliage and optimizing the scene as it's sort of it's very laggy now that I added everything, which I don't want. So that's something that I need to adjust. And this is nice, but I want to be able to add more than just one set of something. It would be cool to have flowers in some pieces. I don't know if the tree actually has that. But I think the main focus here is pretty good. Let's go to export mesh for now, and we'll just test this version out. Okay, so what I do want to do is set between the two in the foliage system here. So if we go to foliage real quick, I can import these two trees. I think these are all set pretty good. So I can put these two trees in. Whoa. And then I can paint. Yeah, no, that's a little too big, and they're kind of huge and condensed. Oh, what is it doing? Okay, so I need to change the density to like 1 and 1, and we'll manually paint each of them differently so that they're not interdicting, so they're not attacking each other. There we go. This does not have the... God damn it, this doesn't have the leaves, it's using the bark. I think there's something wrong with the material. Okay, so I need to... That looks so stupid. Okay. So, that's broken. Okay, I don't know why that broke, but let's just select this entirety. Export the mesh. And we'll re-export it into here. Let's save it. And we'll... Okay, so that's fine. Why is this so broken? Okay, we'll delete this one. Force delete. And we'll re-import it like so. and then everything's right. It's a painted foliage, included collusion, create materials, create material, blah, blah, blah. Everything's selected, everything's good. So why, once I import it, it uses the incorrect materials in the list for everything? Oh, all right. Well, that's something for another day. For now, this one's working, which is good. I think it's because we added the vines, so that's probably just busted, I think. So this material is incorrect here. It's using the wrong things here. Bark's fine. UVs are probably just busted on it, so it just needs to be fixed. Could be also the fact that it's using the wrong kind of version here. So if I go into the actual speed tree assets, the Capic tree, and I go in and find the actual the correct version here. So we'll go yeah, the leaf map probably is what killed it. So this isn't the one that we want, maybe. So we'll use this version and see if that fixes itself. And then we can easily export this again and try again. Export mesh. Yes. Export. Might need to separate materials. That could help. Let's see. Maybe that'll save it. And then we can re-import that as well. Boop. See if maybe that will fix the issue we are having. Which means I will also need to completely delete everything here and forcibly re-import it into here as well. So we'll go to import. We'll find the Capic tree 2. Import. And I think maybe that might have fixed it. Nope. No, it's... I don't know why it's so fucked. Okay, I'll figure it out later. For now, let's just add the foliage here with the mesh paint. Not the mesh paint. Foliage paint here. We'll go painting. We'll scroll down to the tree. We'll turn it on. And we'll just paint one at a time. And this should help with some optimization, I think. There we go. There we are. Now if we look up, we got some trees. Cool. And the rotation's different, and the tree placement, everything is, the size is different, and yeah, no, this is really handy to have foliage mode. Yeah, there we go. So I think for now, I believe this is in a good position for me to end it. I really do like the trees being there. It does add more to it, especially when you look at it from this position. It looks like you're actually in the map. Although some pieces are interesting. Don't know why those are split up whenever the actual model is fine. I think there's something wrong with the alpha of the actual material, so I will just need to go through and make my own. So all the UVs are correct and they're working perfectly fine, so I'll just need to adjust some stuff. But yeah, other than that, this looks really good, and I'm quite happy with everything that I created, especially this wall piece here. This scene is overall looking a lot better than what it was even when I started earlier. So I am very happy about it. anyways, thank you so much for watching. Oh, and the dynamic sun and everything there. That's a fine looking tree. Why, thank you, sir. It's a little broken in here, but it's doing all right, and it's properly shading the sky. You can see it moving in real time, and the shadows are looking really well. So what I need to do is add this tree version right here and create some roots for it. Other than that, everything's looking pretty good. A+. Oh, thank you. I try. Right. Anyways, I have to get off for now. I will be streaming either later tomorrow or later today. And thank you guys so much for watching this version. Next part should be rubble or continuing these trees and making this piece. And I shall talk to you guys later.